We are kicking off today with Raw as AJ Styles squared off against El Grande Americano in a match that Adam Pearce had confirmed earlier in the night. But before stepping into the ring, the Phenomenal One grabbed a mic and delivered a rare off-air promo that only the live crowd, and those catching the uncut feed, got to witness. Styles didn't hold back his frustrations, calling out how isolated he feels in WWE right now. For the first time in my career, I've got no one watching my back. Gallows, Anderson, they're not here. Michin, she's on SmackDown. It's like someone orchestrated a way for me not to win anymore, not to have help. I'll let you make your own conclusions. He then hinted that his words might be crossing a line. By the way, we're here right now and all over the world, but to rest everybody, it's a commercial break. I'm telling you something that you're probably not supposed to hear, but somebody doesn't want me here. When it came to the actual match, Styles made it clear he wasn't just fighting for a win, he was making a statement. What we're going to do is you're going to beat the piss out of Grande Americano tonight so that the person that doesn't want me here anymore can feel a little bit of his pain, and mine also. The entire moment carried an intensity that felt far removed from a scripted promo. Raw emotion, live mic, commercial break, it all blurred the lines between reality and storyline. According to reports, once the match was over, Styles walked through the curtain, passed through the gorilla position, and went right past everyone without being stopped. There was clear tension in the air, but no confrontation as he headed backstage. This naturally sparked the question, was it real, or was it a work? Fightful recently reported that Triple H and Bruce Pritchard have been deliberately stirring the pot backstage, sometimes leaking false narratives about talent and management disputes to create buzz. If that's the case, AJ Styles being at the center makes perfect sense. He's a former WWE champion who has struggled in recent years, losing big matches, going titleless, and missing long stretches of TV time. Fans have been vocal about it, and WWE clearly knows Styles' situation gets people talking. If this was truly unscripted, WWE could have cut his mic instantly and thrown to alternative content, but they didn't. And the match itself gave another clue. Officials didn't alter the finish on the spot. Instead, Styles went over clean. That strongly suggests this was a planned storyline designed to keep fans second-guessing. Adding fuel to the story, Styles' own son spoke out this week after a fan vented on Instagram about how Triple H has been handling AJ, saying it was legit pissing me off. AJ Covell Jones replied directly, "You ain't the only one, man." The comment quickly went viral, and while the emotions behind it are very real given Styles' rocky booking over the past 2 years, for now, his son's words only serve to add another layer of reality to the storyline. This comment came just days after Styles lost to Dominik Mysterio on the September 1st Raw, despite getting one of the loudest reactions of the night. Dominik retained his Intercontinental Championship thanks to his usual cheating, which only amplified criticism of Styles' booking. As for the match against Americano, it was fine, though the multiple Americanos gimmick felt more like filler than a true advancement of the storyline. Still, it also lays the groundwork for a possible tag team clash with Styles and Dragon Lee taking on the two Americanos. At the same time, Styles remains in the hunt for Dominik's Intercontinental Championship. Both scenarios could play into WrestlePalooza 2025 on September 20th, depending on how WWE books the road ahead. So the question remains, was AJ's fiery promo a genuine shoot or just a well-executed work to get fans buzzing? Please share your comments below and give a like if you'd like to see AJ as WWE Champion again. Now, if you're planning to watch WWE WrestlePalooza on September 20th, you'll need to be ready with the ESPN app because that's the only place it's streaming. PW Insider has confirmed that WrestlePalooza, WWE's first ever premium live event to air on ESPN platforms, will be exclusive to the app. There's no current plans to broadcast the show on ESPN's main television channel. For those who can't catch it live, a video-on-demand replay will be available on the app once the event concludes. If there are any changes to that plan, it'll be very late in the game, the report noted, making it clear that the ESPN app exclusivity is locked in unless a last-minute shift occurs. International fans will also get access, but through a different platform. Netflix subscribers outside the United States will be able to stream WrestlePalooza live in select countries. The move reflects WWE's larger streaming strategy as the company positions WrestlePalooza as a marquee event while expanding its partnership with ESPN. Still, for fans used to traditional television broadcasts, the shift may take some getting used to. With the card shaping up to be one of WWE's biggest of the year, fans who aren't set up on the ESPN app, or Netflix depending on the location, risk missing out on a historic show. Will you be tuning in to WrestlePalooza this year? And do you like WWE's move to ESPN and Netflix, or would you prefer the traditional pay-per-view model? Share your thoughts in the comments below. WWE has officially moved Valhalla, formerly known as Sarah Logan, to the alumni section of its website, signaling the end of her second run with the company. The change comes after she revealed back in June that her WWE contract would not be renewed. Valhalla, who is married to Eric of the Viking Raiders, had been absent from WWE programming since early 2024. She welcomed her child in November of that year and never returned to television before her deal quietly expired. With her contract now closed, WWE has shifted her off the active roster and into the alumni category alongside other former superstars. Her most recent return came on the November 11, 2022 episode of SmackDown when she re-emerged as part of a vicious Viking Raiders assault on Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. From there, she remained a consistent piece of the group's act for over a year, mixing into short feuds with Maxine Dupree and even clashing with announcer Michael Cole in a lighthearted on-screen moment. Fans also remember her comedic interactions with R-Truth during the Royal Rumble, which became one of her most memorable highlights. While Valhalla was never positioned in a championship picture, her presence added depth and personality to the Viking Raiders' presentation. Now, with her removal from the active roster, that chapter has officially closed. Do you think WWE should have done more with Valhalla during her latest run? And would you like to see her return again down the line? Share your thoughts in the comments. With her future now wide open, it remains to be seen whether Valhalla resurfaces elsewhere in the wrestling world, whether in AEW, TNA, or on the independent scene, or if this truly marks the end of her in-ring journey. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. The WWE x AAA Worlds Collide event on September 12th in Las Vegas may already be facing changes after a frightening moment during AAA's Alliances Tour in Mexico. The incident took place during a triple threat tag team match for the AAA World Tag Team titles. Los Garza teamed with Octagon Jr. and Laredo Kid to challenge champions Pagano and Psycho Clown, along with other contenders. The match ended with Pagano and Psycho Clown retaining their titles, but the finish left the crowd shaken. Pagano delivered a top rope guillotine on Octagon Jr., but the move went horribly wrong, with Pagano landing directly on Octagon's head. The impact left Octagon motionless in the ring. Referees rushed in and immediately flashed the dreaded X sign, signaling a legitimate injury. Octagon Jr. was unable to walk to the back on his own, raising immediate concerns about whether he will be able to compete at Worlds Collide. As of now, Octagon Jr. is scheduled to team with La Parca, Mascarita Sagrada, and Nino Hamburguesa in an 8-man Lucha Showcase tag team match against Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Lince Dorado, and Mini Abismo Negro. If he is dealing with a concussion or more serious injury, AAA and WWE may have no choice but to pull him from the card. There has been no official update on his condition or word on a replacement, but the timing could not be worse for the cross-promotional event. What was set to be a unique celebration of both wrestling worlds may now be forced to make last-minute changes. Do you think AAA and WWE should replace Octagon Jr. if he's not cleared, or should they delay the match until he's healthy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Back to Raw, as after reuniting last week, the Usos kicked off Raw as they looked to address the WWE Universe together, but they were quickly interrupted by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, much to the frustration of the fans who wanted to hear from the iconic tag team first. The Vision stars warned them that they'd suffer the same fate as Roman Reigns if they carried on, who they got rid of on a stretcher, but that just led to the Usos challenging them to a tag team match for Raw, which the heels rejected. Instead, they said it could happen at WrestlePalooza, but they didn't get the time to enjoy that as LA Knight turned up and attacked them, with the babyfaces standing tall in the end. It was a fun way to kick off the show, setting up another WrestlePalooza match, while Knight's issues with the Vision were continued as tension between him and Jey Uso continued to be showcased. Backstage, Jimmy Uso told his brother that they needed to help LA Knight later that night. Jey refused, pointing out that Jimmy's behavior mirrored the actions he once took during their Bloodline days. Later in the night, Jimmy spoke to Knight, who made it clear he didn't want help from either of them, as he reminded Jimmy that Jey was the reason he's not world champion today, while also pointing out that Jimmy stopped him from defeating Roman back in the day. It's clear that Knight hasn't forgotten his history with the Usos, which is always good storytelling as it rewards the fans, but his war with the Vision continued into the main event as he faced Reed. Knight threw everything he had against the bigger man and even fought off interference from Breaker as well as he connected with his catchphrase elbow drop. But despite his best efforts, a Death Valley driver from Reed got him the win to continue his strong run of late. Corey Graves compared Reed to Bam Bam Bigelow throughout the main event, which is a fitting tribute as he does a lot of similar moves. It's also not a bad thing to be compared to someone as talented as Bam Bam either, with this being a major compliment. However, it was the aftermath that got all the attention as Breakker and Reed began a post-match attack on Knight until Jimmy appeared to make the save with a flurry of super kicks until he was dropped by a spear and then a senton from Reed. It seemed that Jimmy was going to be the next victim of the Vision until his brother's music hit and Jay made the save. The babyfaces all stood tall, and Knight and Jimmy even showed each other respect to seemingly put their history behind them. But then a curveball came as Jay Uso speared LA Knight in the middle of the ring. It ended the show with the Usos standing tall, looking over a beaten down LA Knight as fans were left to question what was going on. Was it a new alliance or a new target? The match ultimately took a backseat to everything that had happened, with Jay's less than forgiving behavior being something that fans were surprised by. He has once again become one of the most interesting parts of the show, just in time for the Bloodline story to reignite. It'll now be interesting to see where things go from here and whether or not the Usos begin to showcase more of a heel edge like they have in the past, or if they'll eventually patch things up with Knight due to having a common enemy. Was Jay sending a message? Is LA Knight caught in the middle of unfinished business? Let us know what you make of that final spear in the comments below. AJ Lee made her long-awaited return to the show, stepping into a WWE Raw ring for the first time in a decade. The Milwaukee crowd erupted as she skipped her way down the ramp, proudly carrying the Women's Intercontinental Championship. With the audience on their feet, she opened with a simple line, "Kept you waiting, huh?" drawing loud chants of "Welcome back." Wasting no time, Lee injected her trademark personality into the promo. She joked about fans who weren't around 10 years ago, pointing out that their millennial parents had been buzzing since her comeback last Friday. She then reflected on the last decade of her life, even noting her time in therapy. The fans quickly turned it into a chant of their own, shouting, "Therapy, therapy, therapy." The tone shifted when Lee recalled watching Raw again recently and seeing CM Punk in the ring opposite Becky Lynch. That moment led directly to the man interrupting her return. Lynch mocked the fans, cut down Punk, and zeroed in on the championship around Lee's waist. She dismissed her rival as nothing more than a Jersey trash bag weirdo and demanded to know where Punk was, accusing him of hiding behind his wife. To add fuel to the fire, Seth Rollins joined Lynch in the aisle, greeted by chants of "You both suck." He demanded Lee hand over the championship, but she fired back, offering to give Lynch another black eye or settle it in a mixed tag match alongside Punk. Rollins entered the ring and attempted to grab the title, but Lee stood her ground, holding him off until Punk hit the ring. The Chicago icon immediately set Rollins up for a GTS, only for the heel to slip away at the last second and retreat to his wife's side at ringside. Frustrated and embarrassed, Rollins accepted the challenge, confirming that the blockbuster tag match will go down at WrestlePalooza. Are you excited for this tag team match to take place? And what are your expectations? Let us know in the comments section below. Elsewhere in the women's division, Raquel Rodriguez took on Lyra Valkyria, and the Judgment Day star controlled things early on due to her size and power, focusing on her back throughout the match. Valkyria fought through the pain though and then delivered a sunset flip powerbomb to turn things in her favor as they gained a "This is awesome" chant as the WWE Universe showed their appreciation for the match. Valkyria then tried to finish things off with a Nightwing, but her back injury, plus a distraction from Roxanne Perez, meant she was unable to hit the move, giving Rodriguez the chance to get back into the match. She blocked a top rope leg drop with her devastating Tejana bomb to pick up the win in what was an impressive performance from Rodriguez. She continues to make major strides in the ring, while Valkyria has become one of the best stars in the division too, with their chemistry being great. A new Bayley vignette aired, packed with hidden details that deepened her ongoing character struggle. Bayley admitted she cannot forgive herself and questioned how Lyra Valkyria ever could. She stressed that hurting Lyra was never her intention. The segment highlighted the voices inside Bayley's head, green representing the ding-dong hello heel version, and blue-purple representing the old hugger persona. At the same time, moments showed Bayley herself shifting without the voices. Looking to her right, she carried a heelish, nasty edge. Looking to her left, she appeared kind and happy. In the middle, she stood completely torn, uncertain of which direction to take. She closed the vignette by promising to make things right with Lyra, though the meaning behind that statement remains unclear. Everything hinges on which voice she ultimately chooses to follow. The timing of this storyline is also notable, becoming more prominent just as AJ Lee has been speaking openly about mental health. Whether coincidence or deliberate, the possibility exists that this arc could eventually lead to a major showdown, Bayley versus AJ Lee. Would you like to see AJ Lee versus Bayley become the payoff to this storyline? Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky were slated to sign the contract for their WrestlePalooza showdown this week, but Adam Pearce revealed that Vaquer would be absent from Raw. Pearce did not provide a specific reason for her absence, though he reassured fans that she is expected to be ready for the upcoming Premium Live event. Still, the situation raises concerns. For reasons known only to WWE, Vaquer risks losing valuable momentum and fan engagement if she continues to be denied television exposure ahead of this high-profile match. Fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see how WWE handles her build leading into WrestlePalooza. During the same backstage segment, tensions between Asuka and Nikki Bella escalated into a singles match. Once the bell rang, the Empress of Tomorrow took full control and dominated the encounter. Bella dealt with the punishment and started to fight back, but she was ultimately defeated with the Asuka lock, with the former women's champion putting on a clinical display, despite the Hall of Famer's best efforts to stop it. WWE still appears to be setting up a storyline between Asuka and Io Sky, but WWE might look to shift things to Asuka feuding against Rhea Ripley before that, or a tag team match that puts Ripley with Nikki Bella against the Kabuki Warriors. PW Insider has reported that Ripley is expected to capture the championship in her hometown of Australia this October at Crown Jewel, marking a massive moment in her individual career. Would you like to see Rhea's big title win take place on home soil, or should WWE pull the trigger sooner than that? Let us know in the comments section below. Dominik Mysterio and Finn Balor were once again seen in a heated backstage segment on the Red brand. This happened when the former Universal Champion pointed out the absence of Dirty Dom on Raw. Soon, JD McDonough and Balor questioned his alliance with El Grande Americano. Rather than clarifying things, Dom decided to walk away, but soon Roxanne Perez decided to go after him. This development indicates that somewhere the Intercontinental Champion is not happy with the ongoing situation with the Judgment Day. Also, Dominik walking away in the middle of a conversation is a subtle hint that he may be breaking up soon with the villainous faction. Dirty Dominik Mysterio once again appeared during a Raw commercial break promo alongside Vic Joseph, hyping up his upcoming match with Vikingo this Friday at Worlds Collide. The event will stream immediately after SmackDown on WWE's official YouTube channel. Will you be tuning in to watch Worlds Collide and see Dominik Mysterio face Vikingo? Adam Pearce and Penta were shown backstage this week when Rusev interrupted them, which led to a singles match being set between the two men. When they got down to action, Rusev threw everything he had at him early on, controlling the pace, but Penta managed to weather the ambush as he started to mount a comeback of his own to try and make the encounter more competitive. That was until the New Day and Grayson Waller turned up as they looked to distract the Masked Man and continue the recent rivalry. Penta tried to avoid the issue by delivering Code Red, but Rusev kicked out. He tried to follow that by going to the top rope, but that's when Xavier Woods got involved, with the distraction allowing Rusev to nail Penta with a Machka kick for the win. It could have been a better match between these two men, and the fact that it was another distraction finish on this show was frustrating, as it's an uncreative booking trope that has plagued WWE recently. This has become a consistent problem on WWE shows, as it doesn't matter that Rusev won when 3 people cost Penta the match. It's an issue that Triple H and his creative team need to overcome, as the predictable booking is hurting the product. We're ending today with news on the Monday Night Raw commentary team, as it was revealed that Joe Tessitore and Corey Graves will be the official partnership for the next several months. It clears up any speculation about who would be the team moving forward, while making Graves' status clear. He's been pulling double duty lately with NXT in the main roster, but as he's now set to be on Raw and SmackDown, adjustments will be made. WWE plans to revert the NXT booth back to just Vic Joseph and Booker T in the meantime, giving Graves a break on Tuesdays.